after signing the new constitution.
The new constitution was a turning point in the country's history as it reconfigured the balance of power by devolving it and responsibilities thereof from the national government to the 47 elected county governments. One of the key highlights of the document was the inclusion of Article 27 that would ensure equality and non-discrimination. With women currently making up about 19% of the members of parliament, falling below the 30% constitutional requirement, the new direction was a much expected and anticipated win as they make up the minority group when it comes to leadership and political roles.
We are very excited about the two-thirds gender rule and principle that was supposed to be followed by the government, that is the state, then that includes all the state agencies.
The Constitution in Article 27 of the Bill of Rights states that the state shall take legislative and other measures to implement the principle that not more than two-thirds of the members of elective or appointive bodies shall be of the same gender. 10 years down the line, parliamentarians have been unable to implement the two-thirds gender rule, citing different reasons, the biggest being the burden it would leave on the taxpayers if it was to be implemented. Research has, however, proved otherwise.
We did our calculations based on the numbers coming from the budget estimates and the known numbers from the Salaries and Remuneration Commission based on the income and the costs that are required per representative. And we found out that for both the Senate and the National Assembly, if you put it together, it would not raise parliament spending by even 2% per year. It wouldn't raise parliament spending by all that. And we made big assumptions, including assumptions on alliances and all that, which might not really. So the economics argument for the failure to abide by Article 81B actually fails.
The debate on the two-thirds gender rule, according to some, has however been misinterpreted and over time been womanized, a factor that has hindered its full interpretation and implementation.
The issue of two-thirds gender rule in Kenya principle must not be taken as a woman issue. It is not a woman issue. It is an issue for men and women because gender does not is not defined as a woman issue. Gender is a representation of both men and women.
It only happens that for the moment the marginalized are women. Who knows, in future it is men who may be marginalized and they are the ones who may need these. But the reason why this was introduced is because it was thought that women are a critical part of the society and they are not represented at key decision-making places such as parliament.
The biggest concern, however, when it comes to implementing the bill has been the architecture bit of the Constitution. The document, in its true spirit, doesn't provide for specific guidelines and policies on how the rule can be implemented to its fullest.
We cannot blame the state. Although the Constitution says the state, and the state is not very specific. Who is the state? Is the state if you read the two-thirds gender rule principle, article that defines it in the Constitution of Kenya, it states that the state shall. So this state is not very clear. Is it the Attorney General? Is it the President? Is it the Parliament? Is it Judiciary? Is it me? Is it you? Who is the state? And therefore, the ball has been tossed from one side of the arena in terms of government to the other.
The debate continues to elicit mixed reactions among key stakeholders, with the parliament currently facing a possible dissolution after the Law Society of Kenya sought the Chief Justice audience, asking him to write to President Uhuru Kenyatta to advise him on dissolving parliament on grounds that it has been unable to craft laws that allow for the implementation of Section 27 of the Constitution.
The issue is significant. I'm not saying that it's not significant, but I don't think that it justifies the dissolution of parliament. I think that steps should be taken to ensure that it's done. Elections is two years away. I think it can be done. This sledgehammer responses, in my view, are not useful. The people who say you dissolve parliament and we go into another election sometimes don't look at the cost of these things. And the cost of these things, particularly at this time when the economy of Kenya has contracted, would be monumental.
On the other hand, there is a strong feeling, maybe as a nation, that it is time to consider policies and mechanisms that would allow for more women inclusivity in key decision-making arenas. Alan Owino, Evening Edition.